Hello everyone, Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. I had a complaint about the glare and the darkness of my glasses, so I'm doing the filming from over here. And as you can see, I haven't cleaned up my studio from class yesterday. Okay, first things first, let's have a peek at that tattoo, shall we? All right, I'm going to turn around. Hopefully I don't go off screen. There it is. Pretty gorgeous, right? So I'm going to let my hair grow a little bit longer so that it's not quite as stark, but I'm going to drag you along on the process. Okay, about today's video. I started off in one direction and of course it took a totally different direction, but today's video was, it's a do-over. Okay, so I started off drawing the face. I need way more practice on faces. So got frustrated with that and went to a collage. And now I adore it. So as usual, I'm dragging you along through the entire process so we can all see together that if things aren't going in the right direction, we can always spin it and turn it in the next direction and still be very, very happy with the outcome. So I give you and me permission to change our minds and recreate our pieces. So that's what we do right here in this village. So, all right, enough from me. See you on the table. So this is the project that we're playing with this morning. Oh my goodness, she started out at this as this little whimsical hand-drawn dress, hand-drawn face, and she totally had a different story to tell. So I love her. Acrylic, collage. This is some of the acrylic paint that was left over from the background. A couple of images, fun texture paint, or fun texture paper. Some rubber stamps on her face. Her eyes are actually scratched out underneath there, but you can't see it. I love the way that the pattern blended everything together. A lot of scratching going on today. So darn fun. Good morning. I just have a substrate here, a thin piece of something something. I'm not quite sure what it is. And I am just going to start putting some underpants on it. I have some leftover bits and bobs on my workspace here. So I am just going to be grabbing some of those underpants and putting them around the edge. We know that the older the older underpants do not fold over the edge very well. They break. So I am using newer pages around the edge. Oh look, that one is missing a word. Perfect. So Mod Podge, underpants, and we will come back and visit some more. I am leaving enough over the edge so that I can wrap my substrate. That is artist's choice always. And I am trying to be more playful with my underpants because I'm a put them on straight kind of girl. So I am trying really hard to be more playful, add more goodies. This is a piece of napkin left from another art project. This is a paper towel with a coffee stain on it, which is really kind of fun. And we're just going to go for it. All right, I'm going to let this dry and then I'm going to turn it over and wrap it. So my intention is to have a girl in the center here, her dress. So I'm just adding a few more underpants to the top of that to give it more energy. Okay, this Mod Podge is almost dry. I'm just going to put some clear gesso on this because I want to draw on it with a soft pencil. And the Mod Podge will not have the grab, so I'll put the clear gesso on it and we will let that dry. Now I'm grabbing a soft pencil. This one is a 6B. I'm doing a voiceover because there's somebody here resurfacing the bathtub, and they are very noisy, and I am not ready to stop playing in my studio yet. So I'm just drawing the oval for the head, then I'm going to draw the neck and down through the body and the dress. Here again, that's why it's important to have the clear gesso, so the pencil has something to grab onto, because it will be too slick if it were just the Mod Podge. Now I'm going to mix some of the green gold acrylic with the white gesso. The white gesso makes it so I can sand it better. If I want to sand it down in the future, the acrylic will peel off a little bit more. So I'm going to just use my palette knife, just scrub that color around. Coming up next to what I have just drawn. This is so much fun. Now I'm going to add some burnt sienna to that gesso. Do the same thing, just mix it up with my palette knife. Scrub it around on the picture, adding some fun color. Now I'm going to add some Van Dyke red. It's like the burnt sienna, only it's a little bit deeper in color, so it's just adding another color, same way. Color, gesso, palette knife, scrub it around. Tub guy's still here. Not here right now, just here in the video. And I'm going to bring in some gray blue. It's called French gray blue. Same thing, paint, gesso, palette knife, scrub it around, have fun. This is just so much fun. Good morning. I'm going to add just a little something to her dress. This might be wallpaper or scrapbook paper. I am not sure what it is. I'm going to bring in some sandpaper and go over this background. So I just want to show you the difference. This is before the sandpaper and this is after the sandpaper. Now I have a soft leaded pencil and I am just going to start drawing in her face. Not that I am any good at this, but we are going to go through it together. Okay, don't like her face. So what do you do when you can't draw a face? You find one, right? So that's what we're going to do. I went to a magazine and And I found a monotone face to go with my monotone girl. That's perfect. Let's glue that down. Well, this is hilarious. You are watching this whole piece transform into absolutely something else. And that's what happens sometimes on the table. I think I have a plan, and the piece has a totally different plan. What's humbling is that I've brought you along to see the change. But we are just going to keep walking forward. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to glue that dress down. So I'm just going through the magazine and picking out things that I think might be of interest. We may use them, we may not. We have no idea where this is going. Isn't that fun? Now these are actually pieces off my workspace of the acrylic paint that we had played with. I think we're going to put those back on this paint, on this piece. So I peeled them off my workspace. Here they are. I'm going to glue them back down onto the piece. That's fun. And I found that picture, so I cut the picture out of the frame. And I'm going to glue them like that, matching some of that green. Alright, this very stark edge bothers me, so I'm going to bring in some sandpaper, and I'm just going to go along the edges of her. Alright, I like that much better. Kind of grunged up around the edge. I did it. I took her eyes out. That would be artist's choice. So I have to laugh because this started off as this sweet little whimsical piece, and I've gone to totally scratching her eyes out. What does she not want to see this morning? I do not know. So I'm going to bring in a rubber stamp, bird cage, and some StazOn ink. And I'm going to put this over her face, which will become very, very translucent if I put Mod Podge down on her first. We'll guess that it goes right there. Not quite sure because we can't see her. But it will be just perfect, I am sure. We'll let that dry and see what happens. She's gorgeous. So now let's give her some hope. Another piece of the pattern. We'll put the birds over here. Let that dry. Now this is some of the green paper that we started off with. I'm going to put a piece here and a piece here to balance it out. Mod Podge those down. Tear this piece so it's a little bit smaller. Scoot that up the side. And I'm not going to put Mod Podge on the top because I really want that rough look that the paper brings into the piece. Oh my goodness. She is so fun. I am so glad I listened to her today. All right, I'm going to let her dry. Now I love the scratchy, raw look of this piece. I'm going to see if I can leave it that way. I'm going to go around the edges of the piece with the Stabilo. Spit and smudge, of course. But I'm going to see if I can leave my focal point without the Stabilo. We shall see. All right, it looks like a little bit here for energy. And a little bit here. Yep. Glad I listened to her. She is pretty darn amazing. All right, we're going to call her done. Oh, this was way fun. So silly. All right, go create, go play, go have fun.